Heather McDonald has got the juiciest scoop. When you're on the road, when you're on the go, Juicy Scoop is the show to know. She talks Hollywood tales, her real life Mr. Segment serial data and serial sister. You'll be addicted and addicted fast to the #1 tabloid real life podcast. Listen in, listen up. Woo woo. Heather McDonald, Juicy Scoop.
Hello and welcome to Juicy Scoop. I want to introduce you guys to Jiaoying Summers, a hilarious female. We have to always say female before stand-up, God forbid. Stand-up comic who I met a little while ago on a fun boat day. And your special is coming out November 8th on Hulu. And you're gorgeous and funny. Welcome.
Thank you so much. You are gorgeous and funny. I literally just left Sacramento Punchline and your face is on the wall. And I said, Zing, that is Heather. He's like, oh my gosh, she's so stunning. You have to dress up for her. You know, as I got lazy recently and my fan complained that I saw she dressed up and she looked like a mop.
Oh, really?
Yeah, I said, I'm going to have to glam up for Heather. I'm very excited.
You know what's really funny about the female stand-up dressing up? So when I started, you know, it was like very conservative. Everybody was wearing like pants and like pantsuits. And this is like the 90s, or they were like grunge, which grunge was, I don't know if you know what grunge is, but it was like not flat. It was my worst because I was like glam sorority girl. But I still always kind of like never showed my legs, always just wore like, I'd wear like skinny jeans and a blouse and whatever. And then in the last like 5 years, a lot of the newer up and coming younger female comics have gotten glammed up. You, Hannah Berner, like I love that you dress up. And you're like, this outfit, is this from the special?
Yes, I designed it with my designer. I told her I want a Chinese qipao inspired dress, and she made this for me. So there's a snake. I'm a snake. That's my zodiac sign.
Oh.
And it's a year of the snake. And she designed that. Gold means money. Red is the China red, lucky color. So we designed this outfit.
I think it's great.
Thank you.
You know, no reason to diminish being beautiful or sexy, but definitely in the group of female comics that came up with me, there was that for sure in the beginning to just, because it was like, well, if you're too sexy, like that'll be distracting from the jokes or, you know, you'll look like you're just trying to, that's all you're good for is like showing your sexiness. So I think I love it that you can be so yourself. Tell us a little bit about your background. Where did you come from?
I'm from China, grew up in China. I was born in the 90s. We had a one-child policy. So basically, you can only have one child. And Chinese family, they are very traditional. They want to make sure they have a son to carry on the family oppression. so like when I was born, everyone was so disappointed. And I was told my father took me to the dumpster. He took me there.
Is this all true?
That's all true.
This is not part of the...
Yeah, that was the plan. It turns out it was actually, there's a family was going to take me because they can't have kids. They're just desperate.
But another Chinese
They'll take
family.
a girl. But yeah, they'll take a girl. But my mom they just told me the story was they took me to the dumpster. I think my mother, when my father gave me to the other family, she regretted it and she started screaming and she ran out and she took me back.
How long were you at the other family's house?
No, they didn't leave. I didn't leave. They were there. They were ready to take me. But that was basically, it's a very rural area. They may sell me to someone, so I don't really know what I would end up. But thank God my mother, she wanted to keep me, but she made sure that I know it every day. Whenever I do something wrong, she goes, "I brought you back from the dumpster. You know, you can't get A-." A- is not A. Number one.
Are your parents still here on Earth?
My mother actually, she moved from China to America. I think when my daughter was about to born, to come to America to help me because I just got a divorce. So she's actually living with me now. My mother moved to.
What happened to your dad?
He's still in China. We are trying to get him here eventually. He's a very severe alcoholic, but now he stopped drinking, which is great because he had a stroke. That helped.
But your mom is still married.
They're still married. The Chinese people just don't believe in divorce because they believe in suffering. They wanted to suffer. Because the more you suffer, you get a better life. That means
really?
You stay married, you suffer more, and you have a better life the next life.
Oh, then I'm definitely going to have a great life. Okay, so with that story, I have some historical questions. When did that policy come into play in China?
I think
The
it
one
was the
child thing.
80s. Around the 80s, because China found out that our population is too large. But India didn't care. India don't give a fuck. They keep having babies. India has more kids now, more population now than China. But the Chinese policy wanted to control the population. So they want every family only have one child. But the Chinese are so traditional. So
And
when they
now
have a girl,
hasn't it like backfired? Aren't they saying
oh
like
yes, for sure it backfired. Is the gender is imbalanced. There's so much more male and less female. Therefore, a lot of rural area, the men they can't afford to have a wife. So all the ugly bitches they are demanding. You have ugly daughter and 5 brothers. She'll demand have 5 cars, 5 houses.
for real?
So she can get married, and then her brothers can get the house and cars. And I mean, they are so powerful now. The ugly girls, even the ugly ones.
Really?
Yes.
That is
They're winning
amazing.
now.
So, it's interesting. There was just a weird time in history where there was like a lot of talk of overpopulation.
Mm-hmm.
And my mom had 5 kids, and I was the 5th. And she said one day during that like talk of the news, it was like viral news stories of overpopulations. She was at the grocery store with all 5 kids, and we were within 10 years to like so the oldest would be like 9 and I'd be like an infant. And she said on more than one occasion, someone would come up to her right here in the Valley, LA, and say, "How dare you overpopulate the world like this with your kids?"
People are so annoying.
Well, it's just whatever is in the news, It's like, I just saw a funny video that was like, if the health people came from there was a time when they said eat the eggs, and they said don't eat the eggs, and they said only eat the egg whites. Now they say no, you can eat the whole egg. Like, there's just things where we don't really know what's going on. So with that, did they really? They really did send like the little girls down the river, right?
For the families, because you can only have one child. Once you have a girl, you will never be allowed to have a boy anymore. So whenever someone have a girl, they hide the girl. For someone, they can go to the relatives to hide it. They can hide that. Or someone, they just don't have a choice. They leave the girls by the trash can or by the river. There's the dead girl
So is
valleys.
that when other countries were then starting to adopt the girls?
Most of the girls got
America.
adopted in the big cities. They would have the chance, but in the rural area, they don't really have access for adoption.
For an
They
international adoption.
Yeah, they just get rid of the girls so
And-
they can have a chance to have a boy.
So what if then you have your girl and you're keeping your girl and you get pregnant again and you do have a boy? Then who gets the boy?
You don't get to get pregnant. They will forcefully sterilize you.
So after your mom had you, she had to go to the doctor and they had to sterilize her?
In a lot
Or
of cases,
like-
in a lot of cases, that you basically they are going to get birth control device in you that is really, really like severe.
Oh.
And if you don't learn from your lessons, you get sterilized. If they find out you are hiding kids,
Oh.
it's like there's sometimes they will inject to your stomach when they find out you are having a second child without permission.
I swear we're going to get to the funny stuff, but this is just
It's
fascinating
very
to me.
sad because
So when did what's the policy now? When did
now
it change?
China want more kids.
So
now
when
they
did
encourage.
it switch? Like
I
around
think
what time?
after late 90s, mid-late 90s, it switched because the gender imbalance become a problem. And the human trafficking become a problem. People are taking advantage of the little girls, and that become a problem. So the government canceled that. And now, because it's so expensive to raise kids and send them to education, a lot of younger Chinese people, they don't want kids. And now Chinese government is encouraging couples to have 2 kids. They'll pay you money to have a second kid, third kid.
Wow.
See, it changes.
Like I knew some of this, but you really explained it well. So when so you're growing up in this rural area as an only child, when and how did you come over to America?
I don't know. I was told a thing about, for example, being a girl, you have to be quiet, you have to be sweet, you have to be obedient. That's the attractive traits of being a girl. I happen to be a very loud girl. I want attention. I was ambitious, and I I wanted to be all the school plays. I like to read and study, but I was told that in Chinese beauty standard, I'm too ugly to be in any school plays because of my big cheeks, my big lips, and I like to be in the sun, so I'm dark. I don't believe it. I said, but I don't think I'm ugly. My mom said it's the gender. Like your faces look like a pretty boy. You can be a good looking man, but as a girl, you're just not
She was
attractive.
just saying that to you at what age?
Very young. I was 3. She would just tell me your lips are like a dumpling lips. Suck your lips in, because big lips is ugly in China. They want girls to have little baby bird asshole lips like this. Like big lips is like girls with all lips. People just think we are like.
So was your mom the epitome of a tiger mom?
Yeah,
or?
she definitely is.
Okay.
Yeah, I got whooped every day for breathing. I didn't believe it. I thought she was lying to me. But then I want to wear pink little dresses, and all the girls would throw egg at me, be like, "Go back to Africa." That's how racist they were against. Even like I'm a Chinese girl. I'm not even dark. I look Filipina at most, and the colorism is insane because not really about racism. More about the classism, because in Chinese history, they favor fair skin, light skin, because if you have light skin, it means you never went to the farm. So being rich, classism, like you,
right.
Yeah, being wealthy is considered attractive. So if your skin's dark, it means you're a farmer. You're not attractive. So I was born with dark skin because I look like my dad. My dad had dark skin. But if you are a man, you have dark skin. It means you work hard. It's attractive. But as a woman, you have to be hidden in the room. You never see the sun because your family is wealthy. You don't have to work. And I had no idea. I couldn't audition for any school plays. And I auditioned for Mulan. And they told me you can play Mulan's father. That's
in China.
In China, like I was playing Mulan's father. That's because of my big cheeks. They were like, you're a man. I always was called a man, and I finally just stopped trying to be cute. I still felt I'm cute, but I kind of cut my hair short and I started wearing cool boys outfit. I didn't felt bad. I just thought they were not ready for me. I didn't think I was ugly, but it was sad. I wanted to be popular. I want to wear the pink dresses. That's why now I'm a big girl now. I want to wear all the beautiful dresses. I want to be a girl. I want to have my long hair finally.
Speaking of
so
that,
I enjoy it so much now.
I saw in your Instagram really great clips that you share. Everyone should follow her. But you had someone in the audience who was from Thailand, and you were like, "Oh, did you check and you just touched the middle of your throat for like the Adam's apple?" Since we're just talking about history and what's true and what's not, is it really true that 1 out of 10 boys is sort of sent to be a lady boy?
Yes, in Thailand, because sometimes it's in Asian culture. Like for example, if you date a Chinese boyfriend, a real Chinese boyfriend, Chinese, once you start dating engaged, the boy is gonna get you 10 sets of gold jewelries and
Gonna get you, sorry, what?
Jewelries,
Okay.
gold jewelries, and it's his responsibility to buy an apartment
Okay.
for you as a commitment. Like engaged, married, the boy has to buy a house for the girl and him, and he has to buy a car. Like it's just your responsibility. If you can't buy a house and a car, you can't find a wife. That's in Asian culture is that commitment is security. You have to give the woman the security,
Okay.
so she can commit her life to you. So same in Thailand is the same Asian culture is that a lot of rural area in Thailand, the boys, they are born, they would not, their family have 2 or 3 boys. They can't afford to get a wife for the second boy because they can only afford 1 house, 1 car. So the second boy would become a guy who never get married. So it's cheaper to make this boy a lady boy so they can perform and entertain and make money and make a living for himself or herself or themselves. I don't know how to say that, but
So they start raising them as a lady boy. It's not like the child is like, I see myself as a girl.
No.
Okay.
It's the family don't have a choice because they want to make sure this boy would not have to be starving and they can't find because in Chinese culture, if you
Do any of the lady boys ever like escape and go back to being a guy?
I think there are.
Wow.
Yeah, it's the biggest problem in Asian culture is if a family had a son and they don't have the ability to get the money and security for the son to get married, for a son to not get married, and the family, the parents blame themselves. Especially it's for the rural area. The big cities, they don't care. The kids, they never get married. They don't like they bring like their minds are more open. You know, they respect their kids. A lot of Chinese young kids, they are very open minded and they don't want to get married. There's people are gays and there are lesbians and they want to live their life. But in the rural area, they don't know anything more than okay, if I cannot get my son a wife, I'm just gonna do whatever.
What about the robots? What about just getting like a robot wife? Do you
they
think
wanted
that's
to
gonna
have
happen?
sons. They wanted to have they wanted to have the son to marry their wife and have a baby.
To have a real baby. But I'm saying, do you know of any like young men that just say, forget it?
Yeah, for sure.
I'm just gonna get this like robot or this like, you know.
Yeah, a lot in Japan, I think.
Yeah, like a you know, where they look like
Companion.
a sex doll, but they're like high end.
Yeah, I think so. That will be for people in the big cities, cosmopolitan.
Oh my gosh,
like wealthy kids who, some men they give up on women. They want a sex doll who's very submissive, can do whatever they want.
Well, yeah. I mean, what are you gonna do? Sit in the corner? She can't get up and go out with her friends for a 4-hour brunch.
Yeah.
If she's sitting and she's a doll.
Yeah.
So, okay. So how old did you come over here then?
I was 18 and I wanted to come to America. I was planning for 4 years before I was 18. When I was 14, I already knew I wanted to come to America because my mom was helping with her niece. She was much older than me. She was 10 years older than me.
The niece, your cousin.
And she got married when she was 22, and she wanted to open a business. It's a video rental, like a little movie CD rental business. My mother helped with it. It was near her restaurant. She said, "I help you with your business, but you have to babysit Jiaoying after he come from school. You know, after middle school, you have to help with her homework and let her sit in your business." So I stayed there. My whole time I was selling Japanese porn to people because we have the parrot Japanese porn. They were just like,
this is all in China still.
In China,
okay.
I was selling Japanese porn since I was 11. I just set the porn CD and they give me money, and I do my homework and I start to watch the Hollywood movies. I start watch the women, dark skinned, beautiful woman. Latina woman, black woman in the movies, and I just they are so beautiful. They got beautiful cheekbones, they get dark skin and big lips, but obviously they are so beautiful. Why am I ugly? Like, what's wrong with this beauty standards? Fucked up. So I said I can still do acting. I just cannot be in China. They are not ready for me. I got to go to Hollywood. I'm going to America, but I can't tell my mom that because she thinks actresses are prostitutes. So I just also know because I have no connection in America. I was thinking about I could never become a starving artist. I would learn how to do business, how to make money, so I can use the money I make to train myself as an artist. I learn. I study a lot about the Confucianism and the I Ching and the Chinese, the art of war. I wanted to learn how to be a successful person, but I wanted to not struggle from
right.
Because once you want money from people, you don't do art. You go to audition, you're begging them to give you a role so you can pay rent. It's not art. You are so pressured to do things that's for money.
Yes.
So I wanted to make sure I learn something that can make money. So I told my mother, I want to learn finance in America. I want to learn economics. And she said no, because I was very good at school and I was getting in Peking University, which is China's Harvard for literature. She wanted me to go there to become a professor. I love writing and reading, but I also like to perform. I want to do all of it.
Yeah.
But because of how I look in China, I can't even get in a drama school because of my look. That I wasn't pretty enough.
It's just so crazy because hopefully you guys jump over to the YouTube and watch it. But you're, by all standards, you're gorgeous.
Thank you. That's I
mean, at least in America in 2025, you're very, very attractive.
Thank you.
So that's just so interesting. It's the holidays, we've got parties, and we want to look our best. We also want to enter the new year with a regime that actually works. And that's what I want to tell you about iRestore. Absolutely love their products. The Revive Plus Max Growth Kit is like a full-on hair care squad that works from root to tip. So it includes the advanced hair growth formula, thickening shampoo, thickening conditioner, and growth activated serum. Everything you need for healthier, fuller hair. So when you combine all these with your iRestore Elite, you put on your head and listen to Juicy Scoop, or watch TV, you are setting yourself up for serious hair growth results. Trust me, your hair will thank you. Holidays mean get-togethers, photos, and wanting to look and feel your best. iRestore is here to help. With huge Black Friday savings happening all month long, and with code JUICY at iRestore.com, you can unlock an exclusive discount on iRestore Elite. That's JUICY at iRestore.com. Please support Juicy Scoop and tell them Heather McDonald sent you. What does your mom, just to jump forward to today, has your mom gotten any nicer? Like, what's the deal?
I think I think the moment I start giving her money, she just kind of forgave me for being ugly. And also China has changed a little bit. They become more open-minded about tan and little diverse beauty, but it's still very tough, very judgmental. The Chinese actresses, they are 90 pounds and they are bleached white. I was doing a Chinese movie. My first marriage, I was in China. I got in a Chinese TV show, and I was instructed to do a jaw surgery because my jaw was too big,
too wide.
I don't look like a woman. They said you look like a man. Or like a trans woman, whatever. So they want me to shave my jaw. Also, they want me to bleach my skin. I didn't want to shave it, so they did the haircut, like a bob haircut. They glue the hair on my cheeks to cover my face. And they bleached my skin, but they make my face so white, but my neck's dark. So they started to IV treatment, IV bleaching.
And did it work?
Yeah, I got white, but they also just think I was too fat. I was a size 0, but in China, I was too big, so I was eating spinach. So one time I was on set and I fainted. I passed out. I said I can't remember my line. They're like, don't worry, move your lips and stand there. We hate your voice. We have a voiceover actress who's very talented. I was like, okay, you hate my face, you hate my body, you hate my skin, you also hate my voice. I don't think I should do this.
Yeah,
I am done. So
and how old were you then?
I was 20. I was 26. So I decided 27. I decided to come back to America.
So you were in America, but then you got a job in China. Yeah, you went back.
Yeah, I hosted the Chinese Shanghai Film Festival, and that's when I met my husband, the father, my ex-husband, the father
of my
kids.
You met him where?
In Shanghai. I was hosting the Shanghai Film Festival for the English section. So I met him there.
And was he in the film business too?
He was in telecom and trading, whatever. He was wealthy, but it was a very bad. It was a very bad experience. It was a very bad marriage. In the beginning, it was gaslighting. Everything is beautiful.
Bombing.
Love bombing. Yeah, love bombing is a word. Love bombing.
And what was his ethnic background?
He's a Chinese man. He's
from China. Was he American too, though, or no?
He's very Chinese, but he was kind of international. He speaks English well.
Okay.
He was very handsome, very charming, very good looking. So I was love bombed by him.
Okay. And then
it's a good lesson. A lot of materials.
Yeah.
Yes.
And then when did the love bombing stop and you realized who the fuck did I marry?
He's not calling me ugly and fat, and he starts saying your legs are so short, you should be wearing high heels. I said, but I'm pregnant. He goes, yeah, you're still short, pregnant. You look shorter, you're fatter now. It become I think because he's insecure deep down, he wants to chip away my confidence.
Yeah.
So he can control me like a caged bird. He'll pull your feather one day by one. You don't realize. It's like when you are boiling a frog with warm water, slowly increasing the temperature. You don't know until you're like, okay, I'm dead. So it took me a long time. He started saying things like, oh, you look very tired with no makeup on. Please make sure when I wake up, you already have your makeup on. I don't want to look at your face.
Now, where were you living when you were saying this and you were pregnant with your first child?
I was in Beijing.
Okay. And you said he was wealthy, so did you have a nice home that he was providing for you?
It's a very luxurious home. But when I met him, I was
Would you be one of those Chinese people that went and bought the high-end real luxury goods? Or
yes, I didn't buy that. He bought them because his friends are all rich and wealthy. Because I came to America as a struggling student. I worked 5 jobs. And then I got in finance and I made my money. But I'm obviously not as rich as him. But the money I make, I can support my grandpa and my grandmother and my mom. That's comfortable.
So you were doing finance in what part of America?
I had a job in Orange County to in hedge fund, and at the same time I was taking acting classes with Howard Fine. I was auditioning.
Howard Fine.
I love Howard Fine.
Yeah.
I got his big class, and I got his master class. So I was training, acting. I started auditioning. That's when I met my ex-husband. I wasn't wealthy, but I would never buy expensive bags. I would use the money to buy my apartment, pay my mortgage. I didn't have the money. He buy the good things, the expensive stuff, because he wanted to make sure I show off. I don't look poor in front of his friend's wife. That's what he.
So he wanted you to have like the nice.
Yeah,
bag.
he wanted to give me the nice things, but he actually slowly he fired the maid. He said that you should be cooking as the wife. If you don't cook for me, that you are not dutiful wife. He started becoming a different person once I got pregnant. And
so then you had your baby, and who's that?
I had the first baby, my boy, my son.
How old is he now?
He's now 6. And after I had him, I moved back to America, and I wanted to leave him. But because of this boy, and he's a Chinese man, and if I don't have enough money, I can't take my son. So I wanted to get myself a career, because if we got married in California, it's a different story. I have more rights as a woman, but in China, the richer part of the spouse is going to get whatever they want. So I want to come back to America, and John Singleton, I remember I auditioned for John Singleton, and it was for one of this show called Rebel, and there's the black girl, is a cop, her best friend's a Chinese girl, so he asked me, what do you think? I said, that's Rush Hour on a budget. And he's like, you know what? You should try stand-up. You're going to be a star. I said, do I have the job? He goes, no, I don't understand the words you said, bitch. But he did.
So he suggested you do stand-up.
He suggested, and he introduced me. We had a lunch, and he gave me a whole history of a stand-up, because in China, we don't have stand-up. Stand-up is new recently, 5 years ago. But I had no idea you can make a living. I've always been funny. I always talk. I like to write. So I said, I'll try open mic. I tried open mic. Obviously, I bombed. But there's something there I felt that give me more freedom, is because as an actress, you wait for that audition.
Yeah.
But as a comedian, they can laugh at us all they want. They can make fun of us, but as long as we are getting on the stage, we are getting better. So I knew I want to do this, and I asked him, how can I get good? He goes, get 10,000 hours. Before you can
what?
10,000 hours.
10,000 hours.
10,000 hours before you can find your voice.
Okay.
I was calculating that's not going to happen with the open mic is waiting around. So
especially
I
here in
club.
LA, it's so hard to.
So 1 week later, I bought a comedy club.
You buy your own comedy
I still
club.
have it. It's on Melrose, and Cahuenga is in Hollywood.
What's it called?
It's called the Hollywood Comedy.
Oh, okay.
So I wanted to have a place I can perform. I saw this storefront on Melrose. It's in Larchmont, so it's cute. It's for lease. I went in. There's a clothing store, and they have really ugly clothes. I'm like, okay, I'm taking the lease. So 2 weeks later, I made it into a little black box theater. And then I started to host the open mic there. I will have a ton open mic a day. Every hour, there's a different audience. We have one comedian on stage, 8 people watching, and you rotates. And I was the host. So when you are hosting, you got to do all the dirty job. I host 10 hours a day. I work like a communist peasant. And 2 months later, there's COVID.
And now at that point when you're doing that, what's happening with your marriage then?
It's falling apart. He would just tell me, I come home.
And you have a second child then?
Not yet.
Okay.
I wasn't planning. Actually, it was a mistake.
Okay.
So I was just trying to see if I can get a
I
career.
was a mistake, but my dad said, no, we're going to say you were a surprise.
Oh. And you are the joy to the world.
Yeah, both my sister and I were surprises. But so you were not planning on having any more with him, and you did get pregnant.
I did, and I remember that I wanted to keep the baby because I had really bad experiences when I was in college. That I was in love with this guy, and he was my fiance, and we were gonna get married, and I found I was pregnant, and he basically pressured me to have an abortion because he was cheating on me with another girl. He was about to leave me. That's why. So I didn't want to.
Where did you go to college?
Kentucky. University of Kentucky.
How did you end up in Kentucky?
I remember I was applying for different schools, and my mother wasn't helping me. And I actually.
Did you finish high school in China, or you finished here in California?
I finished high school in China.
Oh, and then
I applied myself.
So from China, you were applying to all the different schools in America.
Yes, I got my first offer from Kentucky. And my mother wasn't planning for me to go, so I just want to go to the first school so I can go to America first. Then I can move to wherever I want.
And then they gave you a scholarship, or?
I didn't get a scholarship, and I worked, I worked different jobs to pay for my school.
That's where you met this guy and fell in love.
Yeah, I fell in love, and he was looks like a nice guy, but obviously. So it was the first
So then
time.
when you were pregnant with your daughter this time,
I just said
you were like, no man's
way.
going to make pressure me to
even
do
though
something I don't want to do.
Even though she wasn't planned, I didn't plan for have her, but I wanted to make sure this baby, I'm going to be the person decide I'm keeping her. I'm gonna give her the life. She's not gonna fuck my life up. If I kept my first baby, this guy pressured me to not have it, and I regret it forever. Is because it wasn't my choice. Because I'm a peasant. Like I would work 9 jobs to keep the baby alive. I don't need a man to tell me, oh, we can't afford it. I can afford it. Like I that's the problem with me, is that I hate that I respect what he wanted, not what I wanted, because I could afford a baby on my own, even though I didn't have money, but I worked so hard, I would fucking get my shit together. So this time I'm like, no, I'm gonna keep this baby.
Do you know what that's, have you ever heard the expression, do a Hail Mary?
What's that?
Yeah, you know what that means? That is, that would go among men talking. And I remember I heard a very misogynistic LA, maybe he wasn't LA, maybe it was syndicated, but when talk show before podcast, there was this guy, and I can't remember his name, and he was so disgusting. But basically, I would be intrigued to listen to him, because he would be like preaching to men, like how to get a hot woman to do what you want. And he was just the most disgusting guy. Anyway.
He's a pickup artist.
So he said a Hail Mary is, so a woman that you don't want to spend the rest of your life with her, you don't want her to have the baby, says she's pregnant, then the thing that you're supposed to do is say, I love you. We're going to spend the rest of our lives together. This just isn't the right time.
That's what he said to me.
And then, and in a couple years, we'll have the money, we'll have the house, we'll have the kids. So he convinces the woman to do something she doesn't want to do, and ending the pregnancy. And then, is nice to her, brings her some food after going to the doctor, let a little time pass, and then.
Yeah.
And that's what he did.
Yeah, that
is horrible. I had a friend that happened to too. Very
so
sad.
That's so
she really
sad.
believed him too. She really was like, okay, yeah, you're right, but believed that he loved her, and that they would just make it happen at another time in the future.
Yeah.
Wow.
That's exactly what happened. I was very young. I didn't know. But at that time, I wanted to give this baby the life that she deserves, and he deserves, whatever the gender is. So I didn't have a plan B. I was already planning on leaving my ex. So every day I worked 10 hours, and there's a pandemic, everything closed down.
And you're doing comedy at this time too?
Yes, that's when I started doing the open mic for the club. And I remember that everything shut down during COVID.
Right.
And I go to my club, I talk to the empty walls. I just read my jokes, like put it in this audience. And I just was thinking, what happens when this thing opens? Because I have to make it work, make my career work fast. How do I do that? Then I start posting, I start writing jokes, and I start to talk them on stage to nobody. I start filming them and posting them on TikTok. It was embarrassing because people, you are not funny, you're stupid, you have an accent, you should go fuck yourself. I'm like, yeah, it's so rude. Like, are you a like massage
But I think your mom might have prepared you for
my mom's
TikTok comments.
Everything. This girl's like, oh my gosh, she was so pretty.
You're like, you're nothing, TikTokers.
Yeah,
You're nothing, you mean bots.
Yeah.
I grew up with a Chinese mom.
Yeah, and they would say, oh my God, you were so pretty before you the baby. Now you're so fat, you're ugly. I'm like, you think I was pretty? At any point, oh my gosh, do you want flowers? Like, my mom never told me that. People think they are mean to me. I'm like, oh, honey. So I start posting everything, and slowly I found out that the thing I talk about my real life, my struggle, the culture differences, those are the stuff that worked, that they go viral. So I think social media helped me find my voice in a year rather than 10 years. Because as a real comedian, it takes you 10 years to find your voice.
Yeah, so when I was starting, they would say, well, you can't start stand-up in LA. You need to go to Chicago or New York, where you can get up on stage 3 times a night for 5 years. Then you try to get an agent. And they even said, don't let anybody see you until you've done it for 2 years. Don't invite agents or whatever, because they'll remember you being like green and shitty, and that'll stick in their mind, even though in 3 years you're better.
Yeah.
And so I was like, well, I grew up in LA, and I have friends I can invite, and family that are encouraging me to do stand-up and want to see the stand-up. And that's, even back then I realized there is no, stand-up comedy is not becoming a neurosurgeon where you go to college, then you do your OR, then you do, there's different ways, and especially in 2025, for funny people to shine, which I love. The best part about social media, the worst part is you're fat, you're ugly, you're a loser or whatever. That's the worst part. But if you can get to a place where that doesn't affect you as much, it is so great because you don't need to go out and you'd have to walk yourself to the car alone and something could happen, or these male comedians would act like they want to help you and they really want to fuck you. I mean, all these things. Nothing beats a live audience, but it is a great way to test what is funny or what it's not. Or when I do this podcast, in deciding what clip to cut, I'll wake up first thing in the morning, read the YouTube comments, and people going, I died laughing when da-da-da-da. And then I'm like, okay, I think that might be enough. And then sometimes it goes great. And other times I'm like, why didn't that thing go? All right, next one. And then sometimes I'll take that funny story that I didn't even think was funny that I said on the show and put that into a stand-up. So there's so many different ways. And your story is obviously extremely unique and determined, and love the story of, an immigrant who sees the opportunity and just won't stop. Like, that's just amazing. And so then you kind of realized the things that did better were saying the cultural differences, which is so true because it's the most universal.
Yes.
It's like why the COVID jokes were the best.
Yeah.
Because everybody could relate to mocking the person who's driving in their car with the windows up and a mask. I think every comedian said that, and then it's that type of thing. So, okay, so continue. So you started to do that and you started to get some traction.
Yeah, I really believe that I found my voice. Like you said, the audience were like, oh my, I died laughing at that. You're like, okay, this is clicking. And when you are talking about the story to your friend, you didn't even try and people just love it so much, then it becomes such an organic, great stand-up bit. And that's
I would always tell people that too. I'm like, if you are just starting and you want to be funny, whatever that might be, maybe that's on Substack, maybe that's just in a podcast, maybe that's writing, maybe that's just telling a joke or doing a TikTok thing. I'm like, it is when you're hanging out with your friends and you're just telling something and they're laughing. And then my friends would learn and they'd be like, write it down.
Yeah.
Write it down. And now, like on the phone in my notes, I'll be like, that was really funny. Like, I should work on that and da-da-da.
Yeah.
So it is very much when you are a naturally funny person, which you are, you got to have that. But then you've got to have the tools and the determination but you can get better.
Yeah.
Like people say, no one can teach comedy. No, you can. There is like a cadence and a way of writing that's better. And there is a formula to it. And then, but what's great is that it's creative and everybody, you have your own point of view. And that's when someone pops with their own point of view, like, so the holidays are coming, also means the end of the year. And maybe you're like, I need to upgrade my life. I need to make this new year better. Well, how about you start with the most important thing, sleep, and upgrade your bedding with Boll and Branch. Right now, Boll and Branch has the best sale of the year. It's happening with 25% off site-wide. I'm telling you, I love my Boll and Branch sheets. Like, I don't get hot and sweaty anymore. They're so soft. They get softer with every wash. And from their blankets to throws to pillows to duvets, all are made with exceptional quality and durability, and it's on sale now. Give yourself and your loved ones the most extraordinary feeling sleep with 25% off site-wide plus free shipping and extended returns during Boll and Branch's best sale of the year. Shop now at bollandbranch.com/JuicyScoop with code JuicyScoop. That's Boll and Branch, BollandBranch.com/JuicyScoop. Code JuicyScoop for 25% off. Exclusions apply. Boulevard is the fastest growing client experience platform built specifically for appointment-based self-care businesses because salons, spas, barbershops, and med spas and other self-care businesses are so personal. The platform powering your business should feel the same. Plus, with AI-powered scheduling and marketing tools, you'll see higher bookings and gratuity, more ROI on your marketing spend, and smoother days for you and your team. And thanks to the always-on AI chatbot and expert support team, they respond in minutes, not days. How great is that for your customers? So visit Join Boulevard, BLVD.com to learn more about Boulevard and book a demo to see if it's right for your business. And for a limited time, Boulevard is offering new customers 20% off your first year subscription. That's Join Boulevard, JOINBLVD.com to learn more. JOINBLVD.com.
When you are organic and you're not pandering to anyone.
Yeah.
Especially as an Asian female Chinese comedian, at the beginning of my career, only Chinese people want to listen to me, but I don't pander to them. And they hate me, they talk shit about me. But slowly I built my voice that's authentic, and now they like me. And now I have my audience are not just Asians. I have everyone who likes me because I'm not pandering to a certain person for them to buy ticket because I look like them. My suffering and my joy is universal. Being a daughter, being a mother, being the oldest daughter is universal, and that's I'm just a human. I happen to be yellow, and I happen to be a woman, and I felt that I was so blessed to have the chance to posting things on my social media. I post 3 times a day. I post all the way to the delivery room. I was throwing up, morning sickness, posting. I was toilet hugging while posting. So nobody people tell me like I'm just not like you. I don't like to post. I'm like, you think I like to post?
I know.
Nobody likes to post.
And when people want to bag on influencers or anything like that, like, oh, she's just an influencer, or she's just, she just wears her outfits. I'm like, you have no idea how much work that is and what a pain in the ass it is.
Yeah.
And like, there's nothing I like better than going to a party, and this doesn't even happen very often. I wish it happened more, where they're like, sometimes at a Hollywood party, you need to put your phone over there.
That's good.
I'm like, thank you.
Real conversation.
And I don't feel like
Real
I'm missing opportunities that I should be posting and I should be da-da-da-da. And yeah, there's a certain point where I'm like, whatever, I'm just not going to do it that much or whatever. But like people have no idea how much work it goes into it, and how, just like any other art form, sometimes you don't just pop like Alex Earl after, doing it for 6 months. It might take years.
Yes.
But as long as you're enjoying it, same with stand-up, when someone would say, how long are you going to give it? I'm like, well, I get really excited when I have a set. I get a little nervous. I'm excited to do it. I feel good after. So I'll just do it for as long as but you don't make any money out of it. Well, I guess I'll just stop doing it when I don't enjoy doing it anymore.
Yeah, that's about the joy it gives us. Make you feel alive. It's my drug. I feel alive. I make people laugh, and I'm creating. I love that.
Did you have any other female stand-ups that along your journey or before you even started that was like an inspiration or that you really liked watching?
I feel I can be very real with you, is that it's very, very funny. The unfunny female comics, they are very toxic towards me. The good ones, they are so nice to me. The one who's successful, who made it, who had their name, they were just extremely nice, and they have nothing to gain from being nice to me. And it just is. You always hear, oh, someone is big, she's a diva. But actually, my experiences are the comedians, the female comics that are not funny, don't have a career. They would just tell me that, you are too loud. You should. Your accent is the problem. You're never gonna make it. Or like, you can't dress up. You're too dressed up.
Right. You're too sexy.
Too sexy.
You're gonna distract
too
the audience.
Loud.
Yeah.
Your accent's too thick. People can't understand you. You're never gonna make it. Or just they talk shit about me. I don't even someone I would help. They talk shit. But the ones. People like you, people like Nikki Glaser, Margaret Cho, those women, they are just. Like, you got a way to help me. Like, Nikki Glaser, she'll introduce me. She'll try to give me as much attention and respect when she introduced me. She'll spend 2 minutes to give me an intro that she's running her set for Golden Globe. I'm not gonna give her anything for her career. I can't give her shit. But she doesn't care. And Margaret Cho, she did my podcast, and she talked to me every time I post a photo, a video that she think I need support. She shared her story without talking to me, without anything. And those are the women. And I messaged you, and you just respond, yes, come here. Let me get on my show. That's the love support I get, is because you've been through where I was when you try to be good, and you try to become a good artist, and people try to take you down, and you've been through that. And so you see me, you're like, I'm gonna give her a hand. But the people who never made it, they are small, and they want to drag you down. It's so sad.
Yeah, I mean, it is unfortunate, but I always remember that about Joan Rivers. She was just so lovely to
I love her
Margaret
so
Cho,
much.
to myself the few times I got to meet her when we were both at E. And in her documentary, she featured Kathy Griffin, and Kathy Griffin loved her, and she knew that she was still doing it, and she in it was like, oh, my calendar used to be full, now it's all Kathy. Kathy was this is 15, 20 years ago, and I was like, oh, I remember watching that being younger at the movie theater while I was doing Comedy Works,
A piece of work.
and piece of work, and I was like, wow. I wonder if that bothers her, that, and it didn't, it didn't, because she loved it and it's comedy, and she never turned out anything. Before the internet, she was doing people's webisodes when they were called a webisode, which today would be the podcast, YouTube, whatever. If someone asked her, she'd be like, sure, if I'm free that day, I'm never going to turn down any work because next week somebody may not ask me. And it's that humbleness of actually really loving the art of it is what keeps you in the game, the longevity of it. That is so lovely. So you're pregnant with the second one. Are you still, when you gave birth to your daughter, are you still with your husband?
No, we have. It's become very ugly, and he started just calling me names and tell me I'll never make it, and it was just a lot of mental abuse and verbal abuse. But the problem is because I'm a Chinese girl from China, that the verbal abuse is just very normal. You got called ugly and stupid. It's just because also in my culture they don't compliment the kids, because we believe if you tell the kids ugly names and call them ugly, the less envy from hell. It's so there's less devil envy them, so they won't be taken from you. The more you say you're beautiful, you're precious, they got taken by the devils because they got envy. So I felt.
So they think if you tell your daughter she's beautiful and boost her self-esteem, there's a higher chance that something evil might happen, like a tragic accident, and she'll die young.
Yeah, because the devils want to take her because they are envious. They want her.
What religion is that?
I think it's Buddhism. That is also Confucianism is very. Women should be humble, and if you love someone, in Confucianism, they call 贱内 my cheap wife, or狗儿 my dog of a son. Someone refer their kids as humble. Extremely humble to show that I'm very humble about everything. It's just extreme culture that I am used to that. So when my husband, he calls me, you're so ugly, you're so fat now, and you're not smart, you're not sharp. I felt like, Mom, I felt like I'm home again. I didn't felt that he was foreign.
What did your mom think of this husband? Did she like him?
She did not like him because he was 20 years older than me. But he looked so handsome that it didn't really, he looked like he was 40. It didn't really matter to me. And I thought she would like him because she just wanted me to be rich. And this guy's rich. But turned out my mother, she wanted me to be happy. And she think that I married him for the status, for everything. But I married him for her because she blamed that I spent so much money because the first year tuition she paid for. And I just felt guilty for going to America. So I wanted to pay off her debt. I wanted to help her. So it was just a very sad little love story between a mother and daughter that she want me to be happy. She want me to find a man my age. We can develop something together. But I saw she just resent me for spending her money. And I saw she want me to pay her the money back. I didn't know she just want me to be happy. And she can't say it either. Because
she can't say it.
She cannot say it. It's a Chinese mom, just don't say I love you. I think the moment they tell their child I love you is the moment they die. So they can't say it right now.
Really? Has she said it yet?
No, she can't. She goes, I said, Mom.
What about to your kids?
I said, Mom, say, I love you. She goes, you fat. She, I love you. She goes, I love you ugly. She can't say it. She tell my daughter she's beautiful because she's so pretty. She look like your ex.
So they can be a nice grandma.
Oh, nice grandma for sure.
Oh, that's good.
Just very evil mom. Yeah, she's so funny. She gave me so much materials, so it's great.
So, okay, so how do you tell the husband we're done?
I remember it was a big deal for me is when I was passed at the Laugh Factory. I mean, as an open micer, it's a big deal. So now,
where were you living in LA with the husband and the two babies while you're building this comedy club?
So he was wealthy, so he bought like 3-4 houses. One of the house we rent out the rest, and one of the house was in West Hollywood, which
very nice.
I think is very close. Orlando,
Super
it's walking
convenient.
distance.
Yeah, I love that.
So I remember I got passed at the Laugh Factory, and I was so excited.
For people, that means that now she can be on a list to be booked for spots. Yes.
As an open micer, it took me 2.5 years.
Yeah.
That was a dream. But I remember he said I was getting my hair done, dressing
Do you think
up.
people, I have to ask one thing. Do you think these other comics were resentful because in their
for
eyes,
sure.
it
I didn't
seemed
deserve
like,
it.
oh, look how quickly she went.
Mhm.
And do you think that they also, not knowing how hard you were working, and they probably were not working that hard,
Mhm.
do you think they were saying, oh, it's only because she's an Asian woman?
Yeah, because she's Asian in the diversity. That's why she won the diversity lottery. But I was the one who can sell ticket. I had 1 million followers on TikTok. They have no followers.
Right.
All
I
my
mean,
jokes
the
are
thing
my
is,
jokes.
it can only, whether you're a Nepo baby or they're looking for a certain look or type, that can only take you so far in this business.
Yeah.
No one's going to continue. It's like when people talk about Kim Kardashian, oh, she had a sex tape. I'm like, do you think 1 million people are buying Skims because she fucked Ray J on tape?
She's an
15 years
athlete.
ago, I think she's doing okay. I don't think
Yeah.
people are going to continue to watch her on a new show with Ryan Murphy because, like, so what? Like, at a certain point, maybe something might help get you there, but you're not going to stay there
Exactly.
unless you're talented. So
I think Kris Jenner is one of the best businesswomen in the world.
yeah,
She
really
is brilliant. And
she
the
is.
thing about her kids is that doesn't matter what you say about them, they are extremely authentic. Like,
Yeah.
they say they own their mistakes. You can shame them, but they own everything.
Right.
And that's what I feel like I understand them more. It's obviously they are business. They are great with business. Yeah. People.
So sorry. So
yeah.
go back. So you get passed at the Comedy Store.
I'm
I'm sorry, at the Laugh
yeah.
Factory. You're still with the mean husband.
Doing my makeup and hair, and he told me that do you remember you told me when you were a little kid you stuttered, right? I said yes. But I don't stutter anymore. He said, no. I was reading an article. It says that if you do a big performance when you are an adult, you just start to stutter again because you are too nervous.
If you do a big what?
Big like performance.
Oh, big performance. So he's trying to psych you out before you
yeah.
perform that night.
He said, I think you should not go tonight because you're going to stutter and it'll be a joke. It'll be so embarrassing. You probably want to kill yourself after that.
For your first night of
First
like
night.
doing a regular show
Yeah.
at the Laugh Factory.
I said, I don't stutter anymore. He goes, you don't stutter anymore? I started stuttering. I got so angry. I said, I don't stutter. And then he started stuttering like me. I just lost my shit and I slapped him. The moment I slapped him, he grabbed my hair and he choked me. He dragged me to the sink and he started choking me. The moment he started choking me, I took a cutting board and smashed his head. So like I understand physical abuse. When some man punch me, I'm gonna strike and beat
And
him
where
up.
are the two babies at this point?
My mother had them in the other
In
room in the house.
And
upstairs,
you're about to go do a funny
downstairs.
set.
Yeah. So he basically grabbed my because he's not a violent person.
When you say downstairs, wait, you were at your house when this
Yes,
happened.
yes.
But you had to go down the street to the Laugh Factory to perform that
yes.
night.
I was downstairs getting ready.
How
and,
much time between this incident and you going
It
on
was
stage?
around 30 minutes.
Oh my God.
I still
Okay.
performed. And I remember that he choked me. He never touched me because he's like a mousy person. He's not physically violent. Because I slapped him. So as a man, he was like, oh my God. I smashed him with the cutting board. My mother, she heard something. She ran downstairs and she took a big vase and she smashed it on him. She goes, I'm gonna fucking kill you. Don't you fucking touch my daughter, you piece of shit. And she chased at him with a knife and he left. And then I filed for divorce next day.
Wow.
Yeah, that was how
Did you get a lawyer or did it
I
yourself?
got a lawyer. And he wanted to get me back. He thought it was a joke. I said, no, it's not a joke. I don't play with this. You don't touch me. Then he's like, then I realized that he thought I would be okay with that because I took all the verbal abuse. But for me, it's like because I'm traumatized, I didn't know that was abuse. But I know hitting, striking is abuse.
Are you almost grateful that
So
it went
grateful.
to that place?
I am. If he's still
Because-
calling me fat and ugly, I'm still with him. Yeah, I'm so happy. I just
that it crossed that line.
I crossed the line and I filed a divorce and he basically made a deal with me. He goes, if you want to see the kids, I'm not giving you any child support, nothing. because we got married in China. He's also Chinese. I said, listen, I make it very easy for you. I don't want to drag this down with you for 2-3 years because I don't have money. I don't have time. You got money. You got time. You are retired. I don't have any money. I don't have no time. I have to work every day. So I want 2 kids. I want no child support, no spousal support. I want you to sign the divorce paper right now. And he did it. And then I had to figure out how do I raise my kids. So we had to
Now,
downgrade.
what year was this?
That was 2020, I think that 2020, right like early spring 2021.
So things are just starting to open up. People
Yeah.
are just able to go out.
Yeah. So
Oh my God.
So I had nothing. I downgraded and I started selling my jewelry. All the money I saved.
So you sold the expensive jewelry.
all of
gave
my
you.
jewelry and my bags, and then I made some money. I made around like $700,000.
$700,000.
My whole life saving before I met him, because I quit my job after I married him because it's like you should not be working. You should.
But I mean, like the jewelry in the bags, you're saying you made 700.
No, those are just the 700K went to the house that I put part of the house down payments. So he want me to pay him half the house to buy him out. So I had to mortgage the house to pay him another like $1 million, and I'm paying like
Were any of the attorneys like, fuck this guy? You could do better than this?
They
And
hate
you're-
that so much. It's insane. And I had to do a line of credit, which is extremely high. I was paying 10 grand a month because I felt like when I moved to a different house, a smaller house. That is a house I put a down payment for. I just feel like the kids lost their dad. I don't want them to lose
So
the
he
house.
did
No
he
money.
stay in America or go back to China?
He went back to China or
So
Europe.
he
I
is
didn't
not
know.
in their lives?
He sees them. I allow him to see them. Now I'm doing better. I said that they are gonna find out who he is when they grow up. I don't talk shit about him in front of the kids because I don't want to make them feel insecure about they are half human, half bastard. You know, I want them to find out what's wrong with this man when they grow up. And it's so he wants to see them, he can see them, and I'm not taking that away from him. But I remember that the first time I made money. My mom and I, we sell jewelries, and I borrow money from my friends. I'll give them my jewelry for 2 months. I'll borrow 20 grand, and then I'll give them the money back, and then I got my jewelry back. Because I sell to the real. It's like I lose so much money on my jewelry and bags. I just keep rotating, selling everything I have until one day I start selling my shows. I start selling 50 tickets, 100 tickets, 200 tickets, 500, 600. Then I start to make some real money. Then I just
Was there a moment where you were like, I think this is all going to work out? Like there was a moment in your career and life that you were like, I can breathe for a half a second.
Yeah, I
Or
think
has
it was.
that come yet?
Yeah, it came. I think it was a few years ago. Cobb's. I sold out back-to-back shows, and then I got the money. I said I can pay my 3 years. I mean, I can pay my 3 months mortgage. I don't have to worry about next day. I wasn't vain. I'm always very down to earth. It just that I wanted the kids to stay in the house they used to stay. I don't want too much to change. I want them to stay in the same house and same school, because it's
Yeah.
easier for them. They don't have to see how I suffer. You know, they just wanted to. I want them to feel comfortable.
You
That's
still
why-
live in West Hollywood.
No, I moved to Arcadia near Pasadena.
Okay.
We just bought a house in Austin, Texas. So I want to move to my residence to Texas. I bought an apartment in Hollywood, so I can stay here when I'm in LA. But we're gonna move to Austin for my residence. I think I want to a ranch.
Yeah. And so
No,
so when you travel, because you have a quite an extensive tour, then your mom stays with the kids?
my mom stayed with the kids. We have a maid that she was there since my daughter was a baby. So she knows my kids very well. She's a Chinese lady. So she helped my mother with cleaning and cooking. My mother take the kids to school and everything. Whenever I'm in California, I take my kids with me on the road on the weekends. So they actually get on stage and perform. My son and my daughter both get on stage. They are 6 and 4. They love the stage. They really like to be on the stage and to talk to the microphone, because they see me doing TikTok live, Instagram live. There's always a phone, and they are familiar with it. I talk, and they love to talk and make people laugh.
And do you have any mom guilt about
I
traveling
have
so
a
much?
lot of mom guilt. I that's why I feel like I work so hard, so I can just start doing the big theaters. I can do 2 theaters a month, so I don't have to do every
Like
weekend.
2 weekends a month.
2 weekends a month, so I can spend more time with them. But you have to pay your dues. I mean, you have to sell out the clubs and over, so you can have the market. You can do theaters. That's why I work every weekend because I want to get there in 2 years, not in 5 years, because I miss their childhood.
Yeah.
Yeah, I have so much mom guilt. I really do. And whenever I'm home, I come home. I that's why, like, as a mom, we don't have a comedian life. We come home at 2. We wake up at 7. You are a mom. We wake up at 7.
There were many times I just remember. So hard sometimes, right?
Yes. Yeah, I just felt like my son, he said he got bullied in school because people think he's slow. And it made me so sad because I don't have time to help with his homework. My mom don't speak English. My son's so smart. And I feel so bad that people think he's stupid. So that's why I want to move to Texas because my boyfriend's mom is going to move down with us and he's going to live with us. I'm going to try to do less shows. I'm going to find other ways to make money, to writing my TV show, writing my book.
Yeah.
So I can be with them because there's nothing more than being with them is everything. They know it.
I don't think there's any two male stand-up comics dads that probably ever cried about not spending enough time with their kids.
I feel so guilty.
My kids are grown now, but still you will question, choices. Did I do the right thing? But if I didn't do this, I wouldn't be able to have gotten here.
Yeah.
And you won't get that time back. But when the opportunity is there, especially in entertainment, you can't, like I remember when I wrote my book, there was a time where I'm like, oh, I would have loved to have had this book deal when I wasn't working on a TV show like Chelsea Lately, which was 5 days a week. I would have loved to have done a little. Well, the offer is not there when you're a nobody. The offer is there when you're working all week and then you have to write the book on the weekends. Yeah. And maybe, 5 o'clock you go in the pool with your kid or whatever. And,
yeah,
it's so, your story is like, I got a little when we were on the boat with Dr. Drew, which was like this afternoon boat trip. But obviously I didn't get to know you but I saw your growth and I knew that you were a hard worker and I was like, oh, I remember she said she, had a son and I wonder how she does all this. But I knew you were a good mom. I knew, and if you have to make the sacrifice, you cannot do everything.
Yeah. Last Friday was the first time in my baby's life I took them trick-or-treating. And I did not schedule anything that weekend. I just know I have to do it. I have to. And I took them to trick-or-treating and then they were with other kids. And then my son came to me, he goes, Mom, what do I do? And I started to cry. I said, you just go there and say, trick-or-treat. And you take one candy, you say, thank you. And he said, thank you, Mom. I never done that. I'm so excited. Finally, I can be like other kids. And my daughter, she went there and she come back to tell me what people said to her. I felt so good. I said, that's so worth it. Yes, we do need a weekend's income, but you know what? They need to know how to trick or treat. They can't be the only kid who don't know that. Like I feel so bad.
This is what is so great is that you can be more selective after this tour and you can turn things down. Yeah. And you'll get to a place where that weekend or whatever is not going to make or break your bank or change your life. As my dad would say, it's not going to change your lifestyle. It's not, one gig is not going to,
there's so much wisdom,
give you a jet or whatever. Yeah. And you are going to have to say, yes, no, or change it or whatever. And you will never regret like not doing that weekend in Dallas or whatever. Yeah. If there is some opportunity for you with your kids. And so now tell me how you met your new love of your life.
I met him last year on February in Austin, Texas. He was filming my show. I hired his friend filming my show, and they said they needed 2 cameras to capture the crowds. So he hired him. I remember he was so handsome and sweet, and I remember I gave all of the camera guys a merch of mine, a hat. So he took a hat. There was a funny hat. It said Ass Pro Shop with my ass on it, but A+ Ass Pro Shop. And I remember February, first time I met him, and around June, I came back to Austin, and he walked into my green room wearing my hat. And I'm like, hey, do you want a shot? But I think he had a crush on me, but he felt that because he worked on my show, he didn't want to be unprofessional. He didn't want to ask me out. So I said, I have to do it. And then I remember this girl, the girl at the club, she goes, oh my God, he's so hot. I want to fuck him. I'm like, he is hot. And then some my other girls like, he's so hot. I'm like, I want to fuck him. They're like, you don't do that though. Like, you don't fuck guys on the road. I said, I think that's
only for the male comedians.
Yeah, we actually don't do it.
we are just like, I just want to get back to my room. Yeah, and if you have kids, you want the solid night's sleep.
Yes. Yeah.
You know, so that was always the nice thing when they were little is I was like, I kind of love this hotel room. Like no one's waking me up at 6 a.m. or whatever. Yeah. Okay, so go on.
So I told her, I said, no, I can do it. I'm a communist. My pussy belongs to the people. I'm going to fuck him. I remember that I had to convince him to fuck me because he won't do it. He's a nice guy. I had to have guys try to. So we went to the Four Seasons in the lobby, and I said, "Hey, do you want to have a drink?" He's like, "Yeah, my name is Zane." I said, "Whatever." Yeah. I just look at his beautiful blue eyes and big eyelashes. I'm just like, "Oh my God, he's so handsome. He's so sweet." And he didn't want.
Now, had you dated much between the husband and him?
Nothing. I have kind of dated some guy like for 2 weeks. Okay. Not even for, it's like the guy want to marry me after 2 weeks, like the love bombers, which I just so turned off. Okay. And he just talk about his life, and I'm like, yeah, but like, do you want to go upstairs? He's like, what do you do upstairs? I said, do you want to have some tea to my room? He said, okay. I said, yes. So we went upstairs, and I got in bed. I got naked in bed. I just sitting in bed. He's literally sitting on the couch. I said, hi. He's like, hi. He's like, do you want me to make some tea? I said, I'm naked. He's like, I see. I'm like, why you cover your face? He's like, yeah, you're naked. I said, we're going to have sex. He's like, yeah, but I don't think you have a condom. I said, oh, I Uber Eats condom right now. I also DoorDash the condom. Which one ever come first? I did Uber Eats condom. He went downstairs and he come back. He's like, you really got condoms? I said, yeah. He's like, okay. And we had sex. And then he texts me. He's like, I'll see you again. I was like, okay. I didn't even respond to him. And I just never talked to him again. I liked it. He wanted to call me, but he didn't think I want to talk to him again because I never responded.
You just did a little thumbs up on the text?
A little heart.
Oh, a little heart. Okay.
But nothing. Okay. Didn't respond. So he wanted to talk to me, but he realized I wasn't interested. He also thought that probably what I do on the road, I just fuck guys on the road. But he was the first guy, like I actually had sex on the road. I met a different guy. He love bombed me later, and then I remember in September I came back to Austin, late September, and I saw him again. He said, I want to see you, you know. I said, I don't have time. Like, I don't know if you are working for my show. He goes, yes, my friend and I were working on our show. I'm like, okay, whatever. So I saw him. I remembered how sweet he was. And then I remember that after that, I kissed him. And he said, I wanted to ask you on a real date. I said, okay. So we went on a real date, and he didn't want to have sex. I'm like, I'm fucking you. Like, I'm fucking you, okay? And then we had sex, and I asked him, do you like my big tits? He's like, I'm an ass man. I was like, this guy's not going to go anywhere. I mean, this guy is not going to go anywhere. He's cute, but oh my God. Either he's gay or autistic. I don't know. He's like, I'm an ass man. I'm like, okay. And then he just literally, I flew him out to film my show in I think it was Canada, 5 cities in 5 days, very tough, and he was very sweet. He didn't want to have sex with me. He's like, I want to really date you, which means that we need to get to know each other. Like, we need to become real friends. Like, the sex is going to be so destructive. I was so mad at him. I was so angry. I was so pissed at him. I'm like, you just don't want to fuck me. You think I'm ugly. You don't want to fuck me. You think I'm ugly and fat. That's what you think. And he's like, that's not it. So he was just so different, and he also had a corporate job before he started filming. He worked at Tesla for 5-6 years. So he's a very nice man. He's like a nice normal guy. He's a nice normal sweet guy. Yeah. He actually wanted to get to know me. I was offended. All my friends were like, I think maybe he's a nice guy. He's not love bombing. He wanted more than having sex.
You just weren't used to that.
I wasn't.
You weren't used to anyone being nice to you.
No, I wasn't. I said, you want me? Just me, without my body? Like, you just want me? My annoying self? He said, yes. I said, but I talk a lot. He goes, I like to listen to you talk. I'm like, what's wrong with you? Then December, he asked me to his girlfriend. I said, I asked him to spend 5 days in LA with me. I said, but you're gonna stay in a hotel because you can't live at my house. I don't want you to meet my mom. He said, but what's the real reason? I said, yes, I'm under house arrest for my DUI. I have ankle alert.
In real
life, I got a DUI last year.
You did? How did that happen?
I was drinking and I crashed my car because I fell asleep. I was so tired. I did not. Also, I have bipolar, so I forgot to eat sometimes. I overwork. As a workaholic, I overwork. I forgot to eat.
So were you coming back from a show or something?
Actually, I did a lot of shows that week and the months before, and then I did a Sunday, I think, at the Ice House. So I was after show. I went to drinking with some friends, and I haven't been eating for probably 2 weeks.
Oh God!
Just drinking, no food. And
no
then I
sleep.
just passed out. I fell asleep in the car. It was a Tesla X. I forgot to use the self-drive, and my car crashed two trees. I killed 2 trees. And then
is that when you woke up when you hit the tree?
Oh, I woke up. The car was flipped 3 times. It was
oh my God!
Totaled.
Were you hurt?
I was alive. The car was totaled, but they took me to the hospital. They scanned me. They think I definitely have some internal bleeding. It turns out I was harmless. I had some glasses on my face, tiny little pieces, and I the same
Maybe
day,
because you were passive, because they say sometimes, like, if you saw like a truck coming at you, your whole body would tense up
like a cat.
Yeah, and so then when you get hit, the injuries are much worse than if you were out of it or asleep or under more relaxed as you are intoxicated.
I think so.
Oh my God! So then the police were at the hospital?
Yeah, they got my blood test, and I think I was definitely, there's a lot of blood, whatever. So I got a good attorney, so I was able to get a good deal. I got a house arrest. So,
but then you couldn't do stand-up, or you could because that was work?
I did a podcast too. I went on shows. I had like
so as long as it was work, you could do
work,
it.
I can have that excused, and I had a podcast.
But you weren't able to drive?
I can't drive. I don't want to drive either. I'm always texting anyway. So now my man drives me around, and so the first week we are dating.
So you don't drive, but will you ever drive again if it's self-driving?
I will.
But can you legally drive right now?
Right now, no. But next year I got my license back.
And was your mom mad at you for that?
No, she was so happy I was alive.
Oh, so she wasn't then mad?
No, she was actually so nice. She goes, you know what? You are not hurt. Fuck the car. You are not hurt. That's.
But she wasn't mad that you drank?
No. She just know that I was going through a lot. That's actually my ex. He ended up fucking me up. He went behind my back, sold all of my stuff and my clothing, my archives, my shoes, my bags, jewelry in China without my knowledge. I found that out, and I was screaming and yelling at him that earlier. I was in a bad place.
Just you're in a horrible spot.
It was a horrible spot. But the first week of dating, as his girlfriend and my boyfriend came to take me to jail, and then he
as part of your DUI and did they make you go to like AA or anything?
Yes, I go to AA, and I like the guys at AA. There's a lot of old guys at the AA class I go. They are all like in their 70s.
Yeah.
They go there, they've been there for 30 years, and I'm the only woman there.
I remember thinking, I remember somebody saying, oh, the best AA is at Robertson or whatever. This is, in the 90s. A lot of agents go there. And I remember seriously considering going to AA for the stage time.
That's awesome.
Because you could get up and tell a story and, and oftentimes a lot of these people, they tell the same story for 30 years. They get pretty good at it. They have punchlines. It's a good training.
That's
so
cute.
do you speak at the meetings?
We share a little bit. So it's like everyone share a little
it's
story.
Not standing up in front of
I don't do
people.
it because I don't want to, because you have the pharmacists, the assistants, they go there, they dress up, they're like trying to be cute and funny. I don't want to steal their spotlight. I just want them to shine. I'm just like a mop in the corner, be like, yep, I am a drunk hoe. I listen to them. I just want to see them getting on stage, and they got all dolled up. They drive, they wear your, it's so cute.
So just tell everybody like where the next spots you're going to be, where they can find you. The show is on Hulu, premieres this Saturday, November 8th.
Yes.
And I just know my Juicy Scoopers are going to love it.
I can't wait.
And congrats with your man.
Thank you.
And
Thank
where
so
are you
much,
guys
Heather.
now in your love journey?
We are getting our house in Austin. We just got the apartment in Hollywood, so I'm gonna sell my house in Arcadia, Pasadena area, and we're very excited to have our new life. And he's also my tour manager, so he produced my podcast. He's my full-time slave,
Okay.
which I'm so lucky to have him. And I'm in Magoobies at Maryland next week. I'm in Chicago and Philly and Singapore, Hawaii, Honolulu, Maui, all over the place, San Jose, and Jiaoyingcomedy.com.
When you go to Hawaii, can your
I'm taking them actually. I'm taking my mom and kids for 10 days.
Oh, I'm so glad you're making vacations out. I remember like when I was doing Chelsea Lately and I got a gig like in somewhere around Phoenix. I said, they said, oh, you can stay at this hotel, whatever. And I go, could they find me the hotel that has the water slide?
Uh-huh.
So the kids came and they were able to go the water slide. But then my younger son at the time wasn't tall enough.
Oh.
And so we got up to the top and I was like, oh, shit. And I'm like trying to spike up his hair as we're getting
so
up the line.
cute.
And I felt like it was like a DUI test. Like I was like, just don't look him in the eye and just go sit down real quick before the lifeguard realizes you're too little to go on this. And he's like, okay. And then the guy's like, excuse me, sir, can you come over here and stand? And he looks at me, he's like, and he was so mad because his older brother could go down the water slide. I'm like, next time, we did what a real fun was. I did the Atlantis casino.
Ooh.
And we went, and then everyone was tall enough to go on every ride there.
Oh,
and
that's
we
the
went on
best.
that water slide. So it's like, I was always like, I was like telling my age, I'm like, I don't know how many other comedians you have that are like just trying to like book things around like amusement parks and like miniature golf and
I always
bowling.
do San Francisco because we got the zoo and
So
the
much fun.
Legoland.
I know. And then when I remember I took my son and we went to the Alcatraz thing when he was older, like when he was like 10 or 11. That was like such a fun tour. And San Francisco's fun. There's a lot to do there.
Yeah, we always book around.
I know
our
you're
kids.
doing New York in December.
New York in December, Gramercy Theater. We sold out 2 shows on Saturday. We're going to probably add 1 show on Sunday.
Awesome.
Hopefully we can add that one.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That is so great. Well, it's so lovely meeting you. And
Thank you so
I
much.
really loved like our heart to heart and getting to know you so well. And everybody, please, what's your Instagram?
It's Jiaoying Summers.
Say how you spell it.
JIAOYING SUMMERS.
Yes. And of course, it's going to be all linked and everything in the notes of this show. And thank you so much. And just to remind you guys, I think there's like literally a handful of tickets if you get them right now. I'm almost sold out. MGM Grand, November 14th, a live Juicy Scoop. This is BravoCon weekend, so it's a very Bravo-centric Juicy Scoop show.
exciting.
And that's all at HeatherMcDonald.net. And thank you so much.
Thank you
was
so much,
awesome.
Heather.
You're so great. And
Thank you.
and you changed your flight and everything to make this
Of
recording.
course,
So
of
I
course.
appreciate it because I was like, when you said your special's coming out the 8th, I'm like, well, I really think you need to come on the show before the 8th
Yes.
so people like put it in their calendar, watch it, talk about it, share
Thank you
it.
so much for making it happen. I appreciate you so much.
Oh, you're adorable.
you.
Thank you.
Thank you.